Well, congratulations, Noomi. I thought you did such a wonderful job in this movie. And, of course, we all know you from the Dragon Tattoo films and the Swedish films that you've done. What was the biggest difference or adjustment you had to make to get onto a big North American film like this? Or was there any?
Yeah. Actually, the language thing, because I didn't speak English like 3 years ago. And for me to find a way to be free and to be able to live in this language instead of pretending or just, feel like you're stuck in this, prison of control and you need to, you can do perfect lines, but you can't improvise and you can't ad-lib. That was my biggest concern before we started. And then just after like a week, I forgot about it. It was incredible. And it's the way they work. Those boys are fantastic. And they were so funny and easy, and they just kind of grabbed me and hugged me and supported me, and they were, I kind of forgot that I was nervous. And I had so much fun.
Yeah, it looked like it. It looked like it. And yeah, they do have an interesting process, Robert Downey and Jude and Guy, because they let you improvise, but they also, every day they go to set and they kind of change things up. So what was that like for you as an actor to be able to have that kind of freedom?
I really liked it because it gives you, it kind of, you need to be there, you need to be really super focused and open and just kind of go with whatever is coming. And I'm quite used to work like that, to be able to not be in complete control, just kind of jump into it and see, okay, what are we going to do today? And the way Robert and Jude and Guy work is that they are it's very much a teamwork. Yeah. And it doesn't matter who comes up with like great idea. It's like if it's me or Jude or Robert or Guy or Susan, Robert's wife, or it's just everybody's there to kind of make something incredible and fun. And it was amazing.
And you, I would think, had a lot of input into your own character, Sim. Can you tell me a little bit? Because here she's this gypsy. Best clothes I've seen in a movie, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I was really involved in the whole kind of, finding her look, and I worked really close. The costume designer is absolutely fantastic. And we were trying things, and we were talking to Guy, and it was in the beginning, in the first draft I read, she was described as a French gypsy with a French accent, and then we tried that, and it felt like maybe you've seen that before. It feels a little bit, done. So I said to Guy that why don't we do her why don't we add, the old Romani, the old gypsy language instead, and kind of switch a couple of words into Romani, and that kind of is who she's from East Europe, and she's a traveler, and her gypsy camp is outside Paris, but she actually speaks Romani. And he was like, yeah, brilliant, fantastic. So he was so supportive and so open, and he's very creative, and he welcomes ideas, and that was so it made everything so much fun, and it felt like everything is possible.
Yeah. What surprised you or impressed you about Robert when you started to work with him?
That he's really sensitive, and he's really interested in what what I had to say, and he was always asking me, what do you think, Noomi, and how would you do this? And if I said, yeah, well maybe I have this idea, and he was like, tell me, and I was like, and he's like, everybody, Noomi has this great idea, I think we should do that. So he was absolutely so loving and so humble and sweet, and he's super intelligent. It feels like he sees things that nobody else can, would even reflect on. Yeah. And that makes, so I was, you need to be super focused and there with him, and then it feels like everything can happen.
And fight scenes too. I mean, we know, we know you can fight with the best of them. So what was it like to be able to do a little bit of rough and tumble too?
Fantastic. I really liked doing those scenes, and I wanted more. A guy was always like, no. No more knives in the scene, no more blood. I was like, but I can do it without spilling any blood. And he was like, So I think it's a lot of fun to do those scenes.
Yeah, I can imagine. It just, why do you think people are still so interested in Sherlock Holmes so many years later? But this is just steps it up from the first one. It's so much fun to watch this.
I think it really is Robert's and Jude's energy and the chemistry between them. They have something I haven't seen before. It makes it so fun and at the same time quite moving. They have this strong thing between them, and I think that's what kind of caught me in the first movie, what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. I think North American audiences are just going to just fall in love with you in this movie. But I think a lot of us really, there's so many people. I don't know who hasn't seen the Dragon Tattoo series that you did. You did such a fantastic job in that.
Thank you.
And so I think a lot of people know who you are already here, more than you probably think that we do. And, of course, the new movie is coming out. And I was just, curious to see how you're feeling about, seeing Rooney's take on the character.
Yeah. I think David Fincher is fantastic. I think he's a great filmmaker. So I think he will probably do something completely different from what we did and do like a very personal version. So I will definitely see it. And for me, it was never an option. I was finished with her. She was in control. She was kind of controlling my life 1.5 years. And when I left her, I was finished. So it was not something I wanted to do. And so I'm quite excited. I think it's going to be really interesting to see what they do.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
And next up, so then you move on and, oh my gosh, you work with these guys. And then Ridley Scott. Can you tell me a little bit about Prometheus? Wow, that's going to be...
Yeah.
Whoa.
What can you say? He's one of my heroes. I remember when I saw Alien the first time, when I was quite young. And he blew me away completely. And... he's incredible. I love him. And it was a fantastic journey. It was quite hard sometimes and brutal. And, my body was in so much pain. And I had my knees were filled with water after a couple of scenes in Iceland. But it's one of the best things I've ever done.
Wow.
And yeah.
Amazing. Well, it's such a pleasure and honor to meet you. You're such a fantastic actress, and I know we'll be seeing lots more of you. Please keep up the good work.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Great to talk to you.